And there is the finale. Woo! Boros Party going 2-0 within the top 150 Mythic so far. And that moves us into the top 100, rank 74. Welcome back, and thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today, we have a brand new deck for you guys that competes within the top ranks within Mythic. So playing against the best players in the world, holding our own with a brand new original deck for you guys, never before seen, made by myself, Boros Party. We've seen Landfall just dominate every deck archetype. It's overused, it's good, it's broken, we get it. I love the party mechanic. It's less known, it's harder to make work, but when things click, it is so rewarding. So again, this deck has, 70+% win rate within the top Mythic ranks, which is really, really cool. Obviously, my sample size is, generally small, so, that percentage will drop as we play more games. But regardless, we are winning consistent matches against the top players in the world. So if you find any value within the video, please give it a like and share the channel out to your friends. Let's get into the deck here. Boros Party is started out with 4 copies of the Archpriest of Iona. You've probably heard me talk about this card in every single party deck that I've used that contains white. It's a sleeper. This is the best card in Zendikar Rising as far as I'm concerned, for bang for your buck. This is a 1-drop and its power is equal to the number of creatures in your party. So obviously it's a cleric, so it's going to be a 1/2 if you drop it as the first play, which is still good. A 1/2 for 1, that's base value as far as we're concerned. It gets better though. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you have a full party, target creature gets +1/+1 and gains flying until the end of turn. So it will be a 4/2, plus we get that effect triggering from the full party, allowing the Archpriest potentially to be a 5/3 with flying for 1 mana. I don't have to say anything else. You guys are smart enough to pick up on, just how good that is. The Fireblade Charger is a 1/1. As long as it's equipped, it has haste. We do run the Maul of the Skyclaves in the deck, so that's a possibility to have it come out as a 3/3 with flying, first strike, and haste for 4 mana. However, the real key component here is when it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. We have an aggro style deck. We're going in really early. Then maybe they can get advantage on us. They put up the blockers, but the Fireblade Chargers will still deal damage when they die. So they're, less inclined to want to block them, but the less that they block them, the worse that their situation gets, which is really, really cool. And again, put the Skyclave on this for haste. It's a 3/3 flying first strike, which is really cool. Moving on to our 2-drops, which is, the main majority of the deck here. The Stonework Pack Beast. This is such a good card. This is a common, a 2/1, and it's going to be, a filler for your party, either a cleric, rogue, warrior, or wizard, filling the position of whatever you don't have in play, and it will adjust, right? So if you play this as your first one and, you play cleric after that, it will, and a rogue, and then so forth, it will adjust every turn into the creature type that you don't have to fill your party. So this is really good, because we've seen the Archpriest of Iona, which gets the full party boost, and then we have a few other mechanics that really rely on a full party as well that we'll get to. 4 copies of Scorching Dragonfire. Of course, we have to do our best to balance a little bit of removal within the deck. Instant speed for 2, which is nice, and typically we're seeing a lot of recursion. So that means things being replayed from the graveyard, stuff like this. So we like the exile effect here. It deals 3 damage to any target creature or planeswalker. If it dies, exile it instead. Any of the rogue decks are being, replayed with Lura. So it's a nice way to just kind of take care of those threats once and for all. 2 copies of Robber of the Rich, a 2/2 with reach and haste. Whenever it attacks, if defending player has less cards in their hand than you do, you get to exile, if they have more cards in their hand than you do. I always get that backwards. #dyslexia. But anyways, if they've got more cards in their hand than you do, when you attack with Robber, you get to exile the top card of their library. And if it's a non-land, you actually get to play it with any mana that you have anytime that you've attacked with a rogue. So very cool mechanic there, because we do have a couple rogues within the deck to get the job done for us, and potentially even these Stonework Pack Beasts like we talked about could fill that position of being a rogue. If maybe you got that trigger a few times with the Robber and then they removed your Robber, you could regain access to those cards with the attack of a new rogue like the Pack Beast, for example. 2 copies of Seasoned Hallowblade, a 3/1 warrior. Discard a card, tap it, it gains indestructible. This is just a good card. It doesn't have to be in a party deck, but we couldn't not include it. I had a really hard time trimming cards to hit that 60 card deck to make it consistent and actually playable, because, you know, if you're not playing a 60 card deck, the consistency is going to be way off, and, you know, your win rate is just going to go down abysmally. Unless you've got a really nice balanced Yorion deck, like, you do have to keep balance ratios consistent, and that's going to be the key to that, right? So, you know, the Indestructible is great. This is going to survive the removal, right? If they, you know, cast a Shatter or some form of removal, we can tap it, have Indestructible, and then we still have the pressure to apply to our opponent, you know, doing the damage to the next turn and so forth, which is really cool. And, you know, it still falls prey to the exile, but, you know, what doesn't? 4 copies of the Luminarch Aspirant. This is a cleric, 1/1, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Main engine of the deck. Do not undervalue this card. It is so powerful, and the utility of it is incredible. It's not like we're only looking to put +1/+1s on the Luminarch Aspirant. In fact, it's the exact opposite of that. We're looking to put them everywhere else, right? So we talked about the Fireblade Charger. When it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. You know, we can increase that power not only through the Skyclave, but through the +1/+1 every single turn of our Luminarch Aspirant. And that's a stackable ability. We can get 2, 3, 4 Aspirants out, even if we're lucky, to really pile on those +1/+1 counters to our creatures. Now, the Fireblade Charger is a great option for this. The Seasoned Hallowblade is another great option for this because, you know, it can survive the removal. It needs to be exiled. So the chance that it will have those tokens is fairly high, and, you know, to deal with that creature is harder, obviously, than it is to deal with Drannith Magistrate or an Archpriest of Iona, which are still great options. Even Robber of the Rich is a really cool option because of the reach with the rogue meta. So, you know, if you do come up against rogues, don't be scared to put your Luminarch Aspirants on your Robber, because then, you know, you've got a good defender. But typically, you know, you are going on the Charger for the death effect to deal even more damage, or the Seasoned Hallowblade to kind of dodge their removal while maintaining as much value on the board state as you possibly can. Speaking of value, we have the Drannith Magistrate. Only 2 copies here. It is a wizard, and your opponents can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hands. Typically, you know, the adventure cards are still everywhere. Bone Crusher Giants and, you know, the like are being played in every deck, no matter what color. And this will stop them from being replayed. So, for example, Lovestruck Beast can make Heart's Desire. Beast goes into exile. They can't play the Beast from exile now, which is really, really cool. So it shuts down all adventure cards and any other spells that your opponent would cast from somewhere else other than their hand. Sometimes you can cast from your graveyard. Other times it's returned from graveyard. So it is the cast keyword, not just things coming in to the battlefield from elsewhere, because, you know, you can return to the battlefield as well. It's not just cast. Moving on, though, we've got 4 copies of the Maul of the Skyclaves. This is one of the main utilities within the deck. The +2/+2 flying and first strike is amazing. You know, we talked about putting it on the Charger because it gives it evasion, which is really good. And when it dies, it will deal more damage to our opponent. Plus, you know, you can give it haste if it's just entering the field, which is pretty cool. Again, this can go anywhere. It also fits really well on the Seasoned Hallowblade because of the Indestructible, like we already talked about. Skyclave Apparition, you know, this does not fill a party role within our deck, but it's such a good card that you have to use it. You can't not use it. A 2/2, exiling when it enters the battlefield, target permanent with converted mana cost 4 or less until it leaves the battlefield, at which point, you know, the owner of the exiled card will create an XX blue illusion equal to that card's converted mana cost. So, you know, even if they get the XX back, you have stripped that creature or permanent from all of its abilities. For example, you know, Questing Beast has all of those things going on. You can take Questing Beast, they can remove you. Yes, they still get a 4/4. They lose Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste. Combat damage can't be prevented, can't be blocked, right? So it's really about stripping cards of their abilities. Don't utilize it just to take up a defender or a blocker. I mean, yes, still do that if the situation requires for it. But, you know, determine what deck your opponent is playing. You know, try to think of what threats they have for 4 converted mana cost or lower that you could really get and utilize to remove from the game to have some form of advantage come of it, and use it on that, right? So the Apparition, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the greatest white cards that we've seen in Zendikar, of course. Maybe even greater than the Archpriest of Iona, because it can be played in any deck, where the Archpriest can only be played within the party deck. Moving on to more party cards, the Squad Commander, 2 copies of this, a 4-drop 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white warrior equal to the number of creatures in our party. So, you know, we can create up to 4. We have the Pack Beast to fill that void for us. And at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you have a full party creatures you control, gain +1/+0 and indestructible. That's so good. If you get a full party, you start attacking, they cannot stop you. They will never be able to keep up. You know, the one thing is there's no life gain in the deck, so you do want to mitigate having chump blockers still, right? Maybe some of these 1/1s will stay back to chump block your opponent's attackers, while the rest of your army can go in. Party, I should call it, not an army. It'll feel like an army once you have the commander up, though. You know, just getting in with Indestructible, having more creatures than they do, going around their defenders, and then chump blocking their few defenders. And once those defenders attack, now they're tapped, and now you can probably go in with everybody, ideally. So we also have the Amira's Call, which is pretty cool. Obviously, a 7-drop. We get 2 4/4 Angel Warriors, so, you know, filling the party plus evasion through flying is really good for that final amount of damage. And then all of our creatures gain Indestructible, similar to the commander, right? So that's really good as well. And, you know, it comes in tapped unless you pay 3 life as a land. You know, it's a 2-color deck. That should rarely happen. 11 planes, we've adjusted it. You know, there's a lot of white, and the Apparition is something that we don't ever want to miss. So we want to make sure that we do have more planes in the deck than mountains. And of course, we do have our pathways, Pillar Verge and Needle Verge as well. No sideboard today. We're playing best of 1. And again, we are tearing it up with Boros Party in the top Mythic ranks today, you guys. So thanks for your time and attention. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel to a friend. Support financially if you can afford to do so on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube. Purchase your Christmas shopping and other jazz through our Amazon link. Every single thing helps, you guys. From a view, to a click, to the like, to the comments, to the share, to the friend, to the actual financial support. You know, brick by brick, it does slowly create a minimum wage environment for me. So thank you guys so much for supporting me, helping me grow this channel to what it is today. You know, creating a top Mythic player out of this magic scrub. So again, enjoy the deck. The list is in the description below. Take care, and we'll be back at the end to wrap up with our final thoughts. Take care. All right, we're in first. The land's not great. We're playing against Lurrus. I'm gonna mulligan this. I think this looks better, and we can toss a call. And then we're just playing relatively slow. It is Lurrus, and, you know, we are playing some non-typical decks within some of the highest ranks in the game. So, you know, we can only expect so much because, you know, there are a large subsect of people who not only push rank off the start of the season, but will push it the entirety of that season. And when you look at this, guys, if you're a free-to-play individual, you don't spend money in the game, you want to hit Mythic, rank 208th the start of the season, playing Cycling. That's how good that this deck still is. 0 rares, 0 mythics. The only thing that it has within it as a rare is Lurrus of the Dream Den. We're having just terrible issues today with our green screen. Try my best to fix it while still playing relatively competitive Magic. Maybe we can just go crazy about it, right? Like, let's beat the Fox. Right, because that's Fox is going to get big, and we need a blocker for it. They can cycle more than 2 cards per turn, though, which is, like, not good for us. And, you know, it's such a consistent deck, in all honesty. Once you learn how to play it, you know, get your Fox out, get a Rescuer out or something, and then just lock your opponent down with a disgusting amount of cycles. We're pulling too many land is the thing. That's our problem here. We need a Skyclave to get above them. Right, so if we can pick up a Skyclave, you know, and hit them in 2 turns, that's going to be really good for us. I might swing in and try to pull the double block. Right, because that Fox is going to be an issue at a certain point. So they're going to block with the Fox and the 2 tokens? No, okay. The Fox is annoying, right? We don't really like that so much. And so when you're playing the cycling deck, you need to realize that, yes, you want to put all your cycling into the grave for your Zenith Flare, but you can also just win matches by playing your Lurrus and replaying every card you just cycled out. Just to gain that card advantage within your hand. Virtual card advantage, whatever you want to call it. Right, because all of these cards could be, well, I guess not all of them, only the one really. I guess the Aura as well, but it's basically useless. So they're going for the Flare, right? We know this. We do not have a full party, but this is a good card still. I think that'll be our third. So we're missing one more. It can be anything but a cleric or a warrior. And that fox is big, huge. You know what I mean, right? And at a certain point, it's like too far gone. We just need that Skyclave relic. Or the Maul of the Skyclaves, I should call it. In typically a not this bad of a position, but the fox is the one thing that can actually match us. Right? Getting stronger every single turn. Exponentially, basically, because, you know, as they drop more mana and cycle their whole deck away, they don't really run out because of the cycling. And we lose advantage here. That's game. Very, very nice. If only we had a field wipe, right? Scorching Dragonfire, I mean, is not going to do anything for us at this point. You know, opening hand, it would have been cool, but, you know, just good times about here. No attacks, and our turn. We're going to make them work for it, at least, right? Like, you have to go find your Flare now at this point. We're trying to go wide, which, again, I think is a reasonable strategy. They're going to play Lurrus, I'd imagine, and then, you know, they've got other shenanigans there. I don't know why they wouldn't play Lurrus, right? And we can just start chump blocking here. It's not pretty, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, baby. Our turn. So this is actually ideal, because when we take it, they're only going to get a 1/1 if they destroy it on the backswing. So, you know, it sucks that we lost our big 8/8 or 9/9 from the Go for Blood. But, you know, we do get our answer, and that's good. You know, I don't think this matters much. Let's try to keep stacking it on something. And then hopefully we can grab that flying and get that damage in before they find their Flare. That's our only option here. You know, Lurrus in play, which is good for us. That allows us to just snaggle-daggle here. So let's take care of that as well. So we can potentially gain control here, right? There's a possibility that they can hose themselves, right? Not pull a Flare. And we can get advantage here, I think. If we can pick up flying, I'm going to be happy camper. No, more land. I hate it. That is not what we want to see. And we have a deck with so few land in it that, you know, the games where you're drawing this many land is not going to be, you know, very prevalent. You know, not something that's happening a lot is what I mean to say. It's going to be a rare occasion. And, you know, our opponent's going big, grabbing that life, right? Which, you know, the survivability allows them more turns, allows them to look for that Flare. And, you know, I almost feel like they've got it in hand. Okay, that's not a bad pull. I'll allow it. Our opponent does have, like, 11 in grave already, so that's really bad. The 9/1/1s can easily block everything, so our only hope is to stack all of these Aspirant counters, somehow grab flying, and try to 2 or 3 turn them. But, again, we have to survive and dodge Zenith Flare. Zenith Flare, Zenith Flare, who knows? Whew, they're gaining life, making tokens, drawing cards, and most importantly, you know, increasing that cycle graveyard size. Looking for the Flare. You know, we do have one turn to survive if a flare hits. And at a certain point, they can just go wide on us. They've got 13 1/1s, 14, 15, right? Like 16. In what world? And we pull more land. Woo, 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 woo. Doing our best. No attacks. I mean, where is the flying? Skyclave Relic? Come on. There you are. My boy! My dog! Get up there. We're going for it. That's turn number 1. Do they top deck a flare? That's the only way they'll survive, if they top deck a flare. No! We have enough blockers. And they're going kamikaze. This goes there, this goes there, this goes there, this goes there. We're taking 15, 16, 17 damage here. There's no buffs in hand. You know, we could lose the aspirants, we could keep them, whatever. I don't want to lose them. I want to keep them. You know, I want to hit for 16, 16. Yup. We'll try to be pretty quick about it. And there is the finale. Woo! Boros Party going 2-0 within the top 150 Mythic so far. And that moves us into the top 100. Rank 74! So that's pretty cool, right? Take this and just risk it for the biscuit. Let's take a white source. We don't need any red yet. Green. Uh-oh. Goose. That's food deck. Frightening. Red in play. I almost just want to immediately deal with this goose. You know what I mean? It's like not something I want to see in play. Right? They can ramp, they can make food continue. Oh my god. Another. Nice, bro. Into the Lovestruck Beast. We should drop that as a red source. Oh well. We're going to shut down the beast from being played with our Drannith Magistrate. Which is nice. They're trying to cast it now. They're realizing they can't. But why can't I cast this Lovestruck Beast, they wonder. They're like, they keep highlighting it. Just, that's not working. Let's do something else. Hopefully we can pull another white source here. Let's just increase our party. I believe the warrior should finish it off, right? Having all 4. And they can't attack. They kill us here, so we may as well strike for 1. Take the token or something, or just start 1 damage, which is probably the best option. Blocking with the goose. No harm, no foul here. That's, you know, probably their best option. I should have not attacked even. Get more food. That's fine. 3 cards. Still can't play the Lovestruck Beast. Oh no. We cannot deal with the Elder Gargaroth in any shape or form. Oh no. Right? Next turn maybe? Right, not doing enough. Even though 5/3 is awesome for 1, that Elder Gargaroth is like real good. Real good. Something we would typically sideboard for, you know, to only run You know, that heavy cost removal seems a little silly, potentially. Having Vigilance is brutal. I think we just need to self-sack and kill it. Don't we? Just take it, and the Skyclaves can maybe protect us. And then the Aspirant can, you know, help the cause. Oh! Mono green's tough. Especially in best of 1. Magistrate still helping us, but they are laying in heaters, you guys. We need that second plains here. I mean, the King is going to run rampant. The Elder Gargoth is going to run rampant. I'm killing the Gargoth first. Right? Just taking this damage, which sucks. Now the 7, and they can just probably go wide is the thing. Right? So we've got damage available, right? We're hitting for 13 here, potentially. Not enough. Where's the life gain? We're so screwed if we do it. Back's against the wall. Just from the sheer amount of power they have. Making the food, which is so good. Troll King can just come back over and over and over. Which is not good. Like, how do we mitigate the rest of the damage while still taking out these heaters? We can't. We simply cannot. There's no trample damage from the Troll King because we hit with first strike. Still a very bad situation. Right? The Troll King comes back. It's such a heater. Oh no, it can't be cast from anywhere other than their hands. Magistrate stays alive. No Troll King. Okay. Okay. Deep breaths. What? Can't cast spells anywhere other than their hands. Just return it. Gross, not cast. Where is the second plains? I would love to exile that mammoth. Know what I mean? Cleric back in play, I guess. Pushes the Archpriest up. We're still just so screwed! And, yeah, we're just getting boxed out here. The replayability of the Troll King is quite strong. And it's not even a recast, it's just return from, which is pretty cool. So you're going to need, you know, like a Grafdigger's Cage or something. Loving it. Making them work for it, though, right? Making them work for it. What a sad time. Cry. Alright. I believe! Oh, our Magistrate's gone. Love Struck's in play. And, you know what, guys? Let's just give him a little hug and we're going to show ourselves out. Maybe we draw planes? Yes, we do. And no one makes me bleed my own blood. Going first here, the land's not bad, but it's not great. We do need that second plains here, and, you know, if it's a problem, we can balance it for you guys in the final list. Don't worry about it. You know, sometimes while we do play the decks, there's some balancing that happens. At least we're playing aggro, and if we can pick up plains up off the top, I'm going to be very happy. If not a plains, I'd like a Skyclave. Right, a Maul, which would be great. Because it is hammer time, baby. Green, 2 drops. Not happening. At least we get a pretty sick 2-drop here. We're going to be pushing up our Fireblade Chargers with the Aspirant. It could be a Wildborn Preserver, 2/2 with Flash, but that's pretty rare, and it's not something you play around unless it's something you see in the meta a lot. We have a Cultivate, mono... Oh, no, we've got Sultai colors. Here's a black and a blue. Where is that white source? So 2 games in a row, that's been a bit of a problem for us. Down to 7. Maybe they play a Defender and we top deck a Plains. That would be fun. We do have 4 additional damage in play unless exiled. We have removal through their black source on the Aspirant. We hit for 6. We have lethals within the Chargers unless they get exiled. Bay in play as a blocker. Oh my god! Kamikaze here. They should block the Charger. Wow, I cannot believe they let the Chargers go through. So they have to exile. If they don't exile here, we win. If they do exile, awkward. These are all 1-drops, is the thing. There's the black source. Here's the extinction event. Garruk can make the 2/2 wolves, which they cannot block. I'm into it. What? Let's get after it. Is that 2 damage we need? Oh, down to 1. So they definitely have to exile this Charger. And look at this land. You know, that's not something that will happen to you guys. The land's balanced. Just a little bit of clumping. Yes. Shark Typhoon in play, great. But that's their mana, and they can't block. There it is. Welcome. Sick pay. And again, they can't block here, so it's just a good game. And the power of the Fireblade Charger is, you know, almost incomprehensible. Just so much damage. And again, consistently winning games here within the top 150 Mythic ranked for you guys with a brand new organic deck that I just tossed together. So, you know, subscribe to the channel, like the video, that really helps, and tell a friend. That's the greatest Christmas gift you can give to me this season. Thank you so much. Alrighty, we're back at it. Here in Mythic. Top 250 gameplay. I'm rank 149. Our opponent is rank 250. So we're getting at it, right? Getting after it as best we can. Not entirely sure what's up with the cam here. We're having some awkward bleed through that just showed its ugly head. We'll try to fix that really quick while we play here. It'll go. It'll be fine. Make some extra studio lights on, and hopefully that solves the problem. Oh my god, it's made it so much worse. This is our first recording of the day too, so that's always fun. Let's get into our cam. Let's get into the filters. Let's get into the color key. And why is this so bad? At least our opponent's playing really slow here. No idea why this is so poor. It was better before. Maybe we should just turn those lights off. Yeah, we're gonna do that damage to our opponent. And we're just going for it. Obviously, if they're a burn deck, we'll play as smart as we can. And they're out of it. That is a top Mythic match. You know, all of our attention goes right into the green screen. And that's how hard it is to win games in Mythic, you guys. They're the same matches you play in any other rank. All that changes is the amount of matches you play within the month. Hey, that's not so bad, eh? Now, if only I could get my green screen to work. I don't know what's going on with it today, guys. It hates me. My green screen is not a fan of me today. It just does not like me. I don't know. It is what it is. Thanks for watching, you guys. Your time and attention does not go unnoticed. Average view duration is going up. Our views are going up. The amount of likes we get in the videos is going up. The channel is growing. Thank you guys so much. You know, times have been tough. I've been doing this every day for 2 years and, you know, working side jobs to make things work, you know, spending my savings, which, you know, should be retirement fund, but oof, gotta do what you gotta do, right? Try to live the life you want to live, and the life I want to live is fucking crushing out content for you guys. So again, thank you so much. Like, comment, subscribe, share it to a friend, hit the bell icon. You know, we do give codes away on our lives, and you know, support financially if you can afford to do so. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take care and go have yourselves a great day.